Hey, what's up YouTube? So yeah, thought I'd make a video real quick about how I went about fixing the LED, the GameCube LED space. Now normally when you have this all sealed up, no matter how tight you get it, when you press up, see there's a slight movement in the plastic. This causes a problem when the GameCube is on. I think this applies to if you've taken your GameCube apart in the first place. If you haven't taken it apart, this might not be a problem for you. But if you have, what will end up happening is the light will shine through right in between there. You can still see where the light is slightly shining through there. So what I did was I tightened this completely so that it can't move. I'm going to show you how I did that. There's no space or play at all in this. Like I'm squeezing this and it's not going down. So what you want to do is on a GameCube that you have opened is there's this faceplate right here comes off, and you pull the tab gently, and then you need two hands. But once you get it off, once you pop it off, what you want to do is, this is how I fixed it. I came up with my own little method. You want to get a stick of staples and break two off. Once you get two of them off, I tried one, it didn't work. I tried three, it didn't work. It's basically two. Three if you really want to squish. Hold on a second, let me actually break off two. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to break off two and then put you want to squeeze them so that they bend just like this. See if I could do it. Just squeeze it so that the two ends meet, so it looks like this. You're just squeezing them together, just so that the back, so it makes like a square. And then you just simply place it right on the stud, and it fits perfectly because there's a little notch in there. Do not drop this inside your GameCube. That would be terrible. Possibly even cause a little issue. So yeah, definitely want to be careful placing. But once you get it on, you press it down over the stud, and it's a staple, so it will actually flex. It'll bend accordingly. So it should look like that. Sorry about the lighting. Give you a better, 1 second. There you go. So it should look just like that. And that's basically how I went about it. Since washers and such, like washers, they won't like, they'll fit circular, but they might be too thick for you or whatever. So using a staple trick, it's a little more yeah, it's a little more can't get my camera's being stupid today. Yeah. So that's basically how I went about it. It's pretty cool. You could adjust it. Staples are a lot more adjustable. And then once you after all that, after you do that, you gotta do it for both sides. Once you put it all back on, this should not move at all. It should be a nice sturdy, stable fit. It will fit with two. Just get it on the GameCube memory cards and push it over. And this is not really a problem so much with the black GameCube, I noticed, because it's a black console, so that the light doesn't really shine through. But on the orange one, it does shine through no matter what. This is super tight and super raised, and it will not. You can't get the light to go away. Unless you put like a piece of like black tape maybe to cover up the yeah, doesn't matter how tight you screw the shell, because I mean I'm basically squeezing this, putting pressure, and it will not fully go away. So for the orange system, the light will shine through. It's just the way the color is. This is a Japanese GameCube shell, but an American motherboard. I could have modded it, but I had a American GameCube anyways, and instead of getting really risky with solder and stuff, I just basically switched the motherboards. I was lucky to have that I had the exact motherboard and everything. As a bonus, on the Japanese GameCube, it didn't have these ports down here, this port right here. This port was completely missing. It was basically a silver, it is. Yeah, it was basically like, it was a metal shield that was covering the hole. The hole was cut out, but there was a metal shield kind of blocking it from, like, so nothing was there. But when I switched over the motherboard and put the motherboard on the base, I also had to change the shield at the bottom, because the shield had the hole in it, so this little thing could pop out. So this was an extra bonus that I got, even though it's completely useless. It's a bonus that I switched instead of with the motherboards, instead of just this is the digital out GameCube with the here you are. I bought the cables back when they were only 80 bucks on eBay. Now they're astronomically much more. They're like $200. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I bought these for 80 used, but they were in the box and everything, and they were sealed. So basically, for a GameCube, someone who's crazy about GameCube, this is basically a very the Japanese GameCube was about 60 bucks, shipped from Japan, and then I switched everything over, and then the cables were 80. So this is, but in the end, you're getting, you know, a super rare everything. You're getting a full Japanese experience, essentially, since it's Japanese GameCube, Japanese cables, Japanese everything, just to play American games. Well, I mean, and then I have a freeloader, so if I wanted to play Japanese games, I could just use that instead. But I'm not a Japanese player, so I just basically wanted the everything that was good about what was over there in Japan, which was the color of the GameCube and the digital out, the component, so I could play in 480p. Playing Luigi's Mansion right now in 480p. So that's pretty cool. I don't exactly know if it's much of a huge difference, but it is pretty. It's definitely a beautiful picture. It's definitely a lot better than what you would get with just standard 480p. Also to note, certain games, even though they don't say progressive skin on the back, this is because this, especially cases like this, it's a player's choice. So in America, they didn't think it would be important to, for some reason this thing will not focus. I'll be very cooperative. There we are. Yeah, there's no progressive scan logo, but this game is a progressive scan supported. In fact, most GameCube games are supported, but when you start them up, you have to just hold B, and then it will ask you to switch to progressive scan, which is quite amazing, because it's like, I guess because it's player's choice, they figured that by the time you got this game, the cables were gone, everything. There was basically no point in it, and even suggesting that it's component compatible. But yeah, that's basically it. So recap real quick. That's basically how I raised my. I mean, even if you already had your GameCube apart, before you put it all back together, I recommend just doing that real quick. It gives it a nice, tight, secure. You cannot move this plate at all. Just two staples on each side. You just bend them bend it until it's a square, which I'm sure you'll figure out how to do. It's pretty easy. And then just place them around the stud, and then screw it all back in together. That's basically how I went about it, because washers are just either too thick, or they're cylinder, or it's not a tight fit, or it's getting the right ones. Staples are always going to be the same size and always laying around the house, so if you have extra staples, you know, there you go. So little old-fashioned, old-school homemade washer out of a staple just kind of came to me. So it was bothering me that I could see the light protruding, shining through between the space. So yeah, let me know if this video helped you at all. And it's probably not going to be relevant, since nobody really has a GameCube or is into this as they used to be. It's not really a big deal. But yeah, I know I'm gonna probably get some comments about, you know, why didn't I just soft mod the system? Because, you know, but I'm not exactly too confident in myself with soldering and such. Even though I know it's easy, I don't feel very confident about it. So I went the safest route and I had an American GameCube laying around, and I just kind of didn't care about it because I like the orange better. That's why I bought the orange GameCube in the first place. But this is the Japanese motherboard sitting here, so if you guys do want to play Japanese games, I could try to put this back together and I could chip it, but it's just black. It's just a black GameCube that plays Japanese. It's fully Japanese. There's no soft modding. Also, quick note, do not waste your money on any of these freeloaders that say they play Japanese games and stuff. They will not work. I've tried basically every type of freeloader, either on the American. Don't buy the American Action Replay and expect it to work in a Japanese console. It won't. And don't buy the Japanese Wii freeloader, because it only works on the Wii. So there is no official Japanese freeloader for the GameCube. If there is, it's probably on an Action Replay, and that's very hard to get. Super, super rare. So just don't even waste your time. If you want someone to switch out it's really easy to switch out the guts on a GameCube. The hardest part is getting the system open, which I use the pen trick. Some people say to use the Bics. I use the Papermate. The Papermate has a plastic one that's in clear and edged just like the Bics. I actually had a better success rate with the Papermates. They're just a much harder plastic. I mean, they're hard as a rock. So definitely use those. They have like little bumps toward the tip. And they're clear, with a black cap and a yellowish blue and white package. So try those if you can't get your GameCube open with the Bics, because I went through a lot of pens until I finally found the Papermates to be a lot more durable. You don't have to heat them up as much. They're just more durable. So I went through about 4, getting 2 out. So yeah, it kind of depends. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I know this is a long video, but there's still a lot I had to say about switching the guts of a GameCube and my fix as a bonus. So yeah, hopefully you found this video useful in some way. So thanks, guys. Peace.